Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy.
Welcome to Real Estate Live with the Real Estate Guys, Aaron and Jacob Taylor.
We're keeping it real, we're keeping it current, and we're keeping it fun.
Las Vegas' #1 real estate show.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
310-MOVE. The real estate guy.
Just to let everybody know this morning, Jacob Taylor is a little irritated. Just a little bit.
I'm not irritated.
Oh, yeah, he is. I can see
You're
it.
just being a knucklehead for no reason.
I can see it. Let me tell you why he's a little irritated.
Why am I irritated?
I'm asking about my granddaughter. She had a fever a few days ago. I'm concerned about her, and you're like, what are you talking about today? And I keep telling you, I got it. Just chime in. I got it. And you're like, no, I need to know. And I said,
You're trying to play Mr.
I said, I'm in control today. And then you said, it's not all about you, Dad. It's about me, too. It's about us. But if I do recall, Keone, you ever hear the Real Estate Guy jingle? What does it say? Does it talk to Jacob Taylor or talk to Aaron Taylor? Who does it say? Aaron Taylor. Ramon, does it say talk to Jacob Taylor or talk to Aaron Taylor?
Both.
All right.
Yeah.
That was politically
Thanks,
correct.
Ramon.
Anyways, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Real Estate Live. Aaron Taylor and Jacob Taylor. 702-310-6683. For all your real estate needs, call the Real Estate Guys. The experts, 30 years plus, 8,000 homes sold, $2 billion in sales. We love what we do still, care about our clients, have a great time, try to keep you informed on what's going on in the market. And that's what we're going to do today for a little bit. So welcome, 702-310-MOVE. That's the number you want. Keep that in your phone. So let's thank our sponsors, Jacob. Our #1 sponsor that we love, our favorite place to go in downtown Summerlin is
Grape Street Cafe.
Sometimes you wanna go
where everybody knows your name.
Bum, 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 bum.
And we're always glad you came.
Bum, bum,
You wanna
bum.
be where you
Jody,
can see.
she loves that song.
I'm actually, it's growing on me. I'm not going to lie.
You can't hear it. It's growing on you?
It's growing on me.
Keone is actually bobbing to the music, and she can't even hear it. She's looking at me, and she's going, where everybody knows your name. Da, 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 da. All right, who else, Jacob?
Fidelity National Title.
We
love
need
our
a song
folks.
for Fidelity.
Yeah, but they need a jingle of some sorts.
What do you think?
We need to call,
we
Bill-
got to come
call,
up with
call
something
Mr.
for
Foley
Fidelity.
up and tell him he needs a jingle.
We need something for Fidelity National Title. It's got to be like,
They should have like a Go Knights Go jingle. of
yeah,
some
they
sort.
make you feel safe, right? Fidelity covers your butt, like runs a prelim on your house, make sure there's nothing attached to the house when you get in it, no judgments, liens.
Make sure you are
IRS
who
is
you
make
say
sure-
you are.
Exactly.
Make sure your funds are secure and
Make sure-
escrow.
Runs asks for all the demands and prorations for sewer, taxes, all that stuff. I mean, there's a spot for them.
There is.
So we need like something that makes you feel comfortable, Ramon. When we say Fidelity National Title, just something that makes you go, "Aw."
I'll work on it.
Work on that. Let's see what you come up with.
All right, who else we got? We got
Neo Home
Sheila
Loans.
Merrill, Neo Home Loans, the lending lady. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Whoa. You're anti. All
We
right.
love you.
So, Jacob, I'm just going to get right into it today.
All right, what do you got?
You're going to chime in.
Sure.
And
Sure.
I'm going to ask you something. Buyers are picky, right? But so are sellers. Sellers, are very picky. Talk about how both sides can sabotage a deal. How can a buyer sabotage a deal?
There's probably about a million ways they
Give me
can sabotage
three.
a deal. Let's see the three most common right now
Yeah.
on how they can sabotage
How
a deal.
they can just ruin a deal.
One, remorse.
Buyer's remorse.
Buyer's remorse has got to be #1 right now.
And it's happening a lot right now because
Right.
they listen to all this stuff going on.
The media,
Yeah.
mom,
They're listening
Dad.
to CNN.
their
They're
friend.
listening to Fox. They're listening to their brothers and sisters.
All right.
They're
and
listening
then-
to Keone over here.
What's wrong
If you
with
want
Kelly's
real estate
opinion?
advice, Keone, you want to give us some real estate advice? Like, what would you say right now if I said, hey, is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? What should I do, Keone? You're going to be like, what? You'll be like, it's a buyer's market.
That was actually right. There you
That's
go.
pretty good. Yeah, I think
50-50.
it's swaying more towards a buyer's market. Is that a guess?
No, actually,
You pay attention.
I do.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go.
She actually listens to us.
Awesome.
I always thought that she just like plays on her phone, twiddles her thumbs. But she actually
But anyways, all right. So 2 more on how a buyer can fail.
ruin
right?
a deal. Yeah.
So I wouldn't like to say inspection because that's not the buyer's fault. And I wouldn't like to say necessarily mortgage payment shock either because that's not the buyer's fault. That's the lender's fault.
Right.
But it's got to be, after remorse, it's got to be like
Them not getting qualified because they do something stupid
I was gonna
during
say,
their escrow
getting
period.
another loan somewhere else, spending money on a car, spending money on a boat, picking up some other payment, or acquiring more debt, right?
And you know what's irritating? That happened to us once. So we got a good reputation, right?
Right.
Our agents out there know that our agents might be helping the buyer, but it's still the real estate guy's client or it comes from us. And we have certain criteria that we do. Well, one of our agents had a buyer and really embarrassed me because the seller they weren't closing on time and they kept getting a couple extensions. Then they
Right.
wanted to charge $500 a day. And I got all riled up. I'm like, really? A $400,000 house, you're going to charge $500 a day? So, then I called my buddy Steve, and then we called Noah, and we call these people like, I'm basing what my agent's telling me. Come to find out, when we finally get a hold of them, they're willing to work with us and drop it. The buyer can't even get qualified. Oh my God, I almost lost my shit, dude. I'm just telling you right now. I'm like, you really made me make phone calls, put my neck out there, and the buyer's not even qualified because the cosigner won't cosign now, and that was going to be a big problem.
Right.
The cosigner won't cosign because at the end, right before you close, they need to verify tax or bank statements.
Right.
Wouldn't do it.
Interesting.
So it was just like that. That's irritating.
Yep, it happens more than you think, too, honestly. So this is my biggest problem with this industry sometimes is the consumer out there, we're always going to get blamed. The realtor is going to be the one that gets blamed, no matter what. At the end of the day, if anything goes wrong in
it's
a
the realtor's
transaction, it's never title's fault, it's never the lender's fault, it's
Nope.
the realtor's fault.
Always.
Which is fine. But that's why, as a realtor out there, you got to work with trusted vendors that are actually responsive to you and you know how they do business because if your lender's not going over with your buyer not to go get a car loan, not to go buy a boat, not to go buy, or accrue other debt, right, or change their ratios, then it's going to be your fault at the end of the day, even though that's the lender side of the job, right? As the agent, you're going to be the one to blame when the transaction goes sideways. So you got to make sure you're working with people that are at least going to know your expectations and how to manage
How
the
about
transaction.
work with a lender that knows what's going to happen up front? So we do buyers presentations, right?
Right.
We try to go over all the challenges that may happen in the transaction, good or bad. So when they happen, we can go, hey, remember we talked about that? They're like, oh, yeah, I remember.
Right,
And
managing
we're gonna do this.
expectations.
Right. So a lender should do that.
Absolutely.
And they don't. So, and you're right to what you say. You need to work with a real estate agent that knows everybody's job.
Right.
Like, don't work with a real estate agent who goes, oh, well, that's the title's job or that's the lender's job. No, I'm sorry. It's all your freaking job. Like, you need to know their job.
We stay in our lane.
You need to know their job. I'm telling you, because you need to save the deal because when they don't do their job, whose fault is it?
Right, it's ours.
So why wouldn't you want to be a part of knowing what's
You've
going
got
on?
to know what they're supposed to be doing and what they're supposed to be telling their clients.
All the time. Yeah, all the time. So that's the buyers. Okay?
All right, what's the third one? What's the third one for us here? So we got
Third one that
remorse.
a buyer will sabotage. Well, they keep looking right
I was
now
gonna
and they
say
buy another house.
Right. With multiple offers out.
They put out, they're trying to buy 2 houses or during their due diligence period because their inventory is higher than normal right now.
Right.
They'll find a house they like better, so they'll cancel and move on.
Right, and you got to be careful with that. I think we've seen that more now with higher cancellations where
More than any
for
other
any
month.
of you agents that are listening out here, you can't just cancel just because you're within a contingency. You have to actually that contingency has to be the reason for the cancel. Like you can't just back out right
Yeah,
before
but-
appraisal
But it
contingency
can
because
be,
you get cold
But
feet.
that reason can be just about anything.
As long as you can show proof of it, yes. Yes, if you can show proof of it,
I
you know,
mean,
with the resale package, you don't need proof of
That's
anything.
easy,
You just need, I don't like the HOA. Okay, there you go. But I mean, if you're backing out right before the loan contingency, if I'm the listing agent or if we are, I'm going to make sure your lender can produce a hardship letter. If not, I'm going after that EMD.
by the
for my
way,
client.
you know that I'm not going to even say it. It's so embarrassing. I was so embarrassed. They have no idea. I was just so embarrassed. I can't even say it on air. I'll tell you off air for the
Unfortunate.
podcast because it's embarrassing.
Understood.
Like, man, you got it. You know what? You need to find someone that really wants to just buy a house. It's someone that really just wants to sell it. Don't force anybody to do it.
Right.
And don't write an offer on something if they're half in. Like, don't do it.
Well, that's what we call commission breath.
Yeah, man, they're just trying to make a buck or something. I don't
Right.
know.
Hey, desperate times.
Yeah.
It's a little slow for some people out there. It's a little slow for a lot of people out there who's trying to transact right
We're
now.
not slow, bro. I got literally 3 appointments today.
Right.
2
You're
listings.
Back in the grind.
I listed myself. I'm not even exaggerating, 3 or 4 this week. It's not. Here it is. The market's slower, but doesn't mean you have to be.
Right.
You just got to take more of the market share.
There's still transactions going on.
There's
out
a
there.
lot.
But what we're seeing is what you always like to say when the market gets tough is the cream's rising to the top.
Cream
right now.
always rises to the top.
People aren't going after their friends that are agents, that are part-time agents right now. They're coming to the experts.
Right. And if
do
days
this
on
every day.
market are 3 months, pushing 4, whatever that number is, I think it's about 3 months, then instead of having 30 listings, you need to have 60
Right.
to do the same amount of business. Okay, then go get more listings. And right now, listings for us are actually easy because there's so many homes that are just on the market that are overpriced. Bro, I had one, and then we're going to take a break and we'll go to how a seller can sabotage, right? But there is this house that was listed by an agent. I'll give you the number. $630,000.
Right.
Okay? On the market. Then they drop it to 6, 2 weeks later, because no one's coming. Then they drop it to 580. Now, then they fire their agent.
It's the one you said needs to be listed at 525.
Dude, yeah. So I run the comps. And here's the thing. This is one way of looking at it. It's not always true. From the time they bought it to the time they sold it, the market went up literally 40%.
Right. But
Well,
not 60, not 70.
So their house would be 525.
right.
But here's the thing. They didn't even have a problem with it.
Right. The agent just tried to shoot for the stars.
Well,
and just wanted
here's
the
the
deal.
problem. The agents think that if they don't go high,
They won't get the deal.
that they won't get the deal.
Right.
The seller just wants to know the truth.
Most of the time, yeah.
Tell me the truth. Let me hit it now. I'd rather tell you the truth. You list it with somebody else. Go through the 6 months of not selling, then call me.
Right. When you're ready to actually sell and be realistic.
Right.
Yep.
But then what happens is, as the market's declining, which it's not really declining, which we're going to talk about later. I mean, it is and it's not.
Right.
Which is crazy when you tell me what you told me. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Because I don't even have the answer.
Right.
I can't even make an answer up, Jake.
I think I got some good analysis on it.
Yeah, make sure you stick around to the end because we're going to tell you where the market is, and some things just make you go, huh. And that was what.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be
right
back.
there.
We'll be back here in 2 minutes with some more good stuff for you.
I don't know where my
The mouse is right there, brother.
where's the mouse?
Right there, brother.
Oh wait, Ramon. Let me click my. Here we go.
I think the only thing about this angle is whenever I have to check your angle, I'm in the back of JT's angle, and I'm just because.
Why do you have to check his angle? Once it's set up, isn't it good?
Yeah, but it's not I want to check if he's out of focus or if the camera stops recording.
This is what I would suggest. I would go when you check it, and go.
You can still see.
Oh,
That's really good.
That was a good rollout.
How's that?
That was really good.
Is that good?
Yeah, I'll just go during the times that I feel like you're gonna talk for a second.
Wait, so who's the, don't say the name, but it was an agent on our team. They had a buyer they were trying to push to close. You made some calls.
Yeah, she made some calls. She told me the story. She got me all fired up about the agent wanting to charge $500 a day. I was pissed. The agent wasn't returning the calls, blah, 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 blah. It was a Platinum Real Estate, so I called Steve Hawks. He goes, man, I know her. She's not really like that, but I know she works with a lot of investors. Let me help you out. Let me see what I can do. Then I said, call Noah. Well, me and Noah are tight, right? Noah's going to help out. Come to find out they do everything for us, give us an extension, no charges. Buyer can't get qualified. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why do you make me make these calls?
Right.
What lender you use? Well, it's our lender in Guild or Hispanic lender in
Right.
Guild.
Oh, it's that one.
Which pissed me off. Then, just so you know, I called, this won't be aired, right, on our podcast?
No.
Oh, on our podcast, we play the whole show.
I can get Josh to cut it out though.
No, just,
Are you sure?
yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Let him see the real shit. That with the lender thing pisses me off. It's like, there's agents that aren't using our lender. It's really irritating.
What do you? I told you what we need to do already. We need to.
Just bring in another lender.
She's not going to. What do you not get about that?
No, not a loan officer, just another company.
Right. We need to just need to drop. Let her go do her own thing, and we need to just work with one of the ones that's already established again, like Jeremy, like Dust. I don't care who the damn lender is, but we need options. And you can probably get just as much funds from other sources
More.
because you're not making anything from.
No.
It's just a waste of
All
our
right.
time, and it's a waste of our time and resources to maintain for it not to grow. It's never gonna go like this. It's gonna go like this. If anything, it's gonna go like this. As time goes by and she wants to work less, it's gonna go down. I need to make
Changes.
We're getting fired up off air.
If you
over
ever
here.
want to like watch our podcast or our shorts, just go to YouTube and you can see us. I mean, we never even tell people that. You go to YouTube, put in the real estate guy, right? No, put in real estate live.
No, it's the real estate guy.
Yeah, and you can just see us talking because when we go off the air, we still talk and sometimes we get some juicier stuff.
You get a little fired up sometimes.
We do get fired up because, yeah, we do. You know what? You know what fires me up? Let me
What?
tell you what fires me up.
What fires you up?
When I hear real estate, it doesn't fire me up.
Don't,
It
don't
shouldn't.
Get,
I mean,
don't
it does,
get a
but I'm
little feisty.
Here's
here.
the thing: it fires me up, but I'm wrong. Does that make sense? Like I can
Okay.
admit when I'm wrong.
All right.
I know that's rare for a man. Like I'm wrong, but this is what fires me up. When I hear other real estate agents' advertisements on TV, radio, social media, claiming that they're this, that, and the other thing, man, all I want to do is say, look at their production, go to their reviews. I mean, if you're
Gotta start somewhere.
if you're gonna go buy furniture, aren't you gonna go to Google and pull up Bob's Furniture and
Right.
see if they're a 3.8 or a 4.4 or a 5? You're going to, right?
Fair enough.
I'm going to. I pull up Google or anything for anything I buy. I don't care what it is. When I go to Amazon, I look at the reviews.
Okay.
If there's not a lot of reviews, I just won't buy it.
You know, speaking of that, it's
So-
a good time to ask. If you listen to the show and you're, a month, weekly listener, monthly listener here, give us at least a character review maybe. Hey, go on Google, give the real estate guys a review. We're looking to get some more. We always working at it
Yeah,
every
but
week.
don't be going on there because there's always haters. Don't be going on there.
Hey, if you're a
give me
hater,
a 1 star and try to be funny.
If you're a hater, it is what it is.
That's
We'll
our
take
livelihood.
We'll take the hater reviews.
No, that's
here
where
and
we're
there.
4.9 because there's a few haters. There's like 3 that gets us a 4.9 out of all the hundreds. It's like, really? I got a 1-star review on Facebook from somebody from Bangladesh, and I
Nice.
can't get it off.
Nice.
You can't get it off. It's just there. 1
What'd
star.
you do, huh?
Did nothing.
Did you not pay him for his time trying to scam you on the phone?
No,
or
dude.
something,
You could go on people's sites and give 1-star reviews and not even have nothing to do with their business.
Yeah. I know that happened with poor Chris when
Oh my God, Chris.
when he had to fight that ex-client of ours. Yikes! He tried to smear me too. Tried to report me. Some people just don't like you. You know, it's okay. It is what it is. You're not supposed to be loved by everybody.
Okay, I got a question for you, kid.
What do you got?
You don't know I'm going to ask you this question. We didn't set this up. We didn't talk off air.
Oh gosh, what do you got?
Okay. You're so cute. You know, I want to
stump me.
slap you right now. Come on.
Hey, focus.
Oh,
Squirrel.
okay. Give the seller one upgrade. I think this dollar's too much, but give the seller one upgrade they can do for $500 or less. That's going to give them more curb appeal, more of a chance to sell their house, more of the. And let's see. Think about it before you answer it.
Okay.
You have $500. Here, seller, I'm giving you $500. This is your house. I don't care if there's a lot wrong with it or a little wrong with it. What would be the number one thing you would spend that $500 on?
A cleaning.
Bingo.
How
How about cleaning your house?
Yeah, just hiring a cleaner.
Man, I went to a house the other day where I walked into it and it was a nice house,
Right.
but he was a single guy. And the house
lived like a bachelor,
There
huh?
was breadcrumbs and food crumbs on the table.
Cold pizza from last week still on the
You
counter.
look on the floor, like I look on the floor, this could tell you the house is not clean. I look on the floor and in the corners, there's like
Dust-
food piled up and
Dust
dust.
piled up, yeah.
Like no corners and edges. They don't believe in corners and edges
Right.
unless you're a cleaner. You know, towels. You walk in the bathroom. I'm here as a real estate professional to sell your house and evaluate how we're going to put this plan together, both us together, right?
Right.
And I walk in the master, and there's everything that they use in the morning is out on the sink. Just left out everything, toothbrush stains, towels,
Right.
beds not made, trash. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Now, they told me that they cleaned it up before I got there. That's scary, right?
No, I mean, so that's what we have to use some analysis on when we're at someone's home, right? When we come to list your home, everybody's different, right? Someone's going to ask like, well, what do you tell everybody? Well, we tell everybody something different when we're at the house based on our experience. If I walk into a listing appointment with that guy, I'm not going to normally tell every single person I meet, oh, we recommend cleaning the house before, but somehow, some way, I'm going to get a recommendation in there when talking to him that we should hire a cleaner before we list the property.
And what are you
before
going
we
to
get
do
photos.
when he goes, I just did. I just cleaned it. We're all good there.
Well, I'm going to let him know about smells and aromas, and not everybody,
What smell? What are you trying to
Well,
say? My house smells good.
when you live in your own house, you get used to your own smell. I got a dog. You know, my house I think smells great, but if someone else walks in the house, they're going to smell my dog. It is what it is.
A good
and it's
analogy of
clean.
that is like when you fart, you can handle your own fart smell.
That's true. That
It's
is
like
true.
it doesn't even bother you.
That's fair.
Right? Keone, you know what I'm talking
If someone
about.
else farts, it's
Remote,
like, oh,
would you agree?
oh,
Like Remote,
suck up the room.
1,000% agree with that.
You could, but if I walked in the back room with Ramon right now and I let one out, he would like run out of there, right, Ramon? You'd be like, "What up?"
Hey, even like when your
I agree.
significant other, like when your wife or your husband or your partner, if they fart, you're like, oh, what are you doing to me?
Yeah. So I guess maybe that's a good analogy to tell them.
Yeah, we'll use the fart story.
Use the
at
fart
listings.
story.
I'll convince people to clean the house.
You know what they say for people over 50?
What do they say?
Don't ever trust a fart. So all you old people listening right now, you know what I'm talking about. I'm 60. I'm going to be 62. From experience, Keone, I don't trust a fart. Just don't do it. How do we get on that subject anyways?
Aromas. But
Yeah, we got
that
that
is a
subject.
good conversation though. Really, I think that's probably one of the most important things with showings is after cleanliness is the smell of your home.
Right.
And unfortunately, everybody sees it this way. And, you know, even having the bias of my own house, like, you think your house smells fine. Everybody thinks their house smells fine. But most of the time, there is some sort of smell that
Oh, yeah.
goes
You can
with
smell
you.
an animal when you walk
Oh,
in.
an animal
It
for
doesn't.
sure. I don't care if your dog or cat or lizard or hamster is the cleanest one out there. You could still smell it.
Right. It's kind of like
still smell
when I walk into Grape Street Cafe,
Right.
right?
Sometimes you wanna go
Where everybody knows your name. Bum, bum,
It's fun to
bum.
test out Ramon and hear the song.
There we go, baby.
All right,
That's
well,
our cheers.
Well, what about when you walk into Grape Street,
It
huh?
smells wonderful.
All right.
Everybody knows my name. The cocktails are flowing. The wine is superb. Right?
Right.
That's what I think.
That had anything to do with the point, or no? You just
No,
wanted to-
John texted me.
Oh,
You guys are cracking me up about the fart stuff. Oh, so I, throw him another plug.
Nice.
That we do it all the time, right?
that is beautiful.
We should actually give away a Grape Street Cafe gift card. I mean, we do every week, but we should give one away, right?
Who wants one? Give us a call 702-310-6683. If you're out there and you want a Grape Street card, 702-310-MOVE.
Call right now,
Call the real estate guys.
702-310-6683. Whoever answers the phone, just say, hey, I'm listening to the real estate guys. They said I get a gift card at Grape Street Cafe, only for the first 5 callers, though, because I know we're not going to give away like 50 of them today. Only for the first 5 callers. Dial 702-310-MOVE. Go, I want a gift card at Grape Street Cafe. Compliments of John McGivern.
John, when are you buying that horse property, huh?
I know. Hey, John, 2 acres, you're killing me. He won't even look at it.
Well, I think he's lost out on that one, huh?
No.
No?
Bro, I could
Still-
get him
still
such a
possible?
good deal on it. He has no idea. But if he doesn't look at it, how can I? Cash. Are you listening to me? Cash. Get your dad to look at that house. All right. You know what? We need to take a
We need
break.
to take another break.
We need to take a break.
Take a break and we'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back, everybody. He's listening. He's like, you guys are cracking me up. Oh, my God. You're killing me. Love you. Thank you. Absolutely.
It's funny. Yes, I'm listening.
So, yeah, definitely cleaning. Okay, I'm going to ask you, should you buy or not right now?
Okay.
So it looks like putting an ice screw in extremely clear ice. Probably some of the clearest ice I've seen in a really long time. I mean a really long time. This is dang near perfect. Look at that. This is so freaking clear. So it looks like putting an ice screw in extremely clear ice. Probably some of the clearest ice I've seen in a really long time. I mean a really long time. This is dang near perfect. Look at that.
I just zone it out right now, County. I like that.
Are you zoning out on the camera? You should, so we can slowly zoom in on your face.
I was zoning out. Wow. I was in like deep thought. Did you notice that? You were, all 3 of us were for like 30
Yeah.
seconds. We're all in like our own little world.
It's
Now we're back all in our worlds together.
Jacob's on it.
Jacob's like, yeah. You know what we said?
No.
Say he was in his own little world.
I was looking at Mr. Beast. He rented out Disneyland for the night for a date.
Who did?
Mr. Beast.
Have you seen
Who's
that
that?
edit they made of him?
Who's Mr. Peace?
Most popular influencer in the world. You don't know who Mr.
You rented
Beast
the
is?
whole entire park?
He rented Disneyland out for the night, yeah.
How much did that cost him?
I'm sure 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, I don't know. A lot.
The one in LA or the one in. Yeah.
He's the most popular YouTuber in the world. Hundreds of millions of subscribers.
How many?
Like 400 million or something. I don't know. How many subscribers does he have? Do you know?
He's got a lot. I don't
400
know.
million or something?
Is that the one that gives away cash all the time?
Yeah.
All of his YouTube is like giving away his money, giving away this. all
And he
sorts
has
of
his
stuff.
own candy brand.
Yep.
It's actually really good.
It is. It's actually good chocolate. Yeah. It's way better than all like the Hershey's and Reese's
Yeah,
stuff.
much better. I feel like it's like what Hershey's used to taste like.
Right. Before they cheaped out.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want a brand like that.
That would be nice. Yeah.
What's his name again? Beast?
Mr. Beast. Crazy.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah, Mr.
Wow,
Beast.
hundreds of millions of
Yeah,
followers.
you seen the right next to South Point. There's a big hangar that's like his sound studio. There's like an airport hangar.
Good for him.
That's just his sound equipment for his show.
You know,
It's
people
huge.
that are wealthy and make money and do good. Man, I'm so excited for him. I think that's great.
You're not a hater.
Not even close.
Not a hater.
No, man. And you know, like when I see someone that has like a bigger house than mine, yeah, I don't need it. You know, people, you ever hear this? Oh, I don't need a house that big. It's just me and my spouse. I'm like, okay, whatever. No, you want the house. I want the house.
You know, I'm cool with.
What's that, Keone?
I said I feel like having a big house is not space or too much.
Yeah, I'm cool with 3,000
No,
square
it's
feet.
cool.
No, I'm serious.
I'd like
I don't
20,000.
I don't need your 6,000 square feet, bro. I'm cool with 3.
Give me 20,000. I like space.
I don't like having to walk across the house. Like, I don't like walking a half mile to go do, I don't know, go get a snack.
I do
or
get
grab
my
a beer.
10,000 steps in at my house.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like every day.
I'm
Like
cool.
I walk. Like it's
I'll take my 3,000 square foot single story, 3-car garage.
3-car, 4-car.
All right, what questions you got? Let's go.
Okay,
We
so
still got stats to go over.
okay, let's talk about this before stats. People are probably on the fence right now. Should I buy or not? And I know the real answer is depends, but let's just dissect that a little bit.
Okay.
What
When should you buy?
should you buy?
Should
Yeah.
you buy now?
Yeah.
Here's what I
Like
truly,
I'm ready to go. I'm approved.
Here's what I truly, honestly believe.
What do you think?
And I can say this because I did it myself and I am doing it. When you can afford to buy is when you should buy. Now, as a buyer, though, if you're looking to make $100K in 2 years, first off, you're delusional. And that's never going to happen again, probably in our lifetime.
I will. But
Within
you
2
can't-
years, make $100K
Well,
off
no,
a $400,000
The answer
house?
is we don't know.
We don't. But unless the whole thing crashes and burns and trying to make $100K in 2 years is just unreasonable, right? You're not buying your personal residence to make a bunch of money in a short time period. You're buying it because you need to live somewhere. And, you know, normally if you're not transient, right? You need a place for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years maybe, right? The average person transacts every 7 or 8 years, right? So if you know you're going to be in the same place for 5+ years, it's 100% worth it to buy.
And here's the other thing too, why you should always buy, I think. Your equity comes from two different sources. Number one is appreciation.
Right.
Now, no one knows when that appreciation is going to happen. You could listen to the news, you could listen to Wall Street, the media, you can listen to whatever you want. Everybody has speculation, right? All the experts in the world can speculate. I mean, I've been watching the most experts in the economy, and they were saying that we were going to have a recession. We're not even close to a recession. Now we're saying it's going to go the other way. So you just don't know, right, when it's going to happen. But that's one way. The other way is you're paying down your principal.
Right. Slowly but surely.
Why do you want to pay rent and pay down someone else's principal or put money in their pocket? You might as well take your money and pay down your principal. So even if over the course of 10 years it has no appreciation, if you paid $500,000 for a house, I'm sure you're going to owe like $350 or $400, right? You're saving money is what you're doing.
Right.
Then I believe that your interest on your primary house is still a tax write-off. So now you're saving money again. So it just
We're not
makes
accountants.
sense.
Check with your accountant, but I believe that's the case,
Right. It just makes sense.
depending on how you file.
And I wouldn't worry about, the interest rates, right?
If you can afford to make the payment, and that's really what's key. If you can afford to make the payment on a home, and most of the time, what we see in the biggest, how do I say this? The biggest objection, I guess, for people out there is, look, I could rent this house for $2,500 a month. It's beautiful, it's like a $500,000 house. I could rent it for $2,500 a month, like 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,000 square feet, right? But if I was going to buy it, my payment would be $3,500 a month, right? So that's really the hardest thing about purchasing a home or convincing someone to purchase a home is the same house they could rent and the payment on it. The payment's going to be
higher.
X amount higher.
Right,
It's
unless
going to
you
be
put down more money.
It's going to be
higher.
like, let's say, roughly anywhere from 20 to 40% higher, depending on
Unless
your
you
loan,
put down
depending
more
on your
money.
down payment, all that good stuff.
And then
right?
the rates, you could always refinance.
Right.
It's temporary.
You absolutely can. And that's why I like to share my home as an example. And it doesn't work for everybody, but to tell you guys exactly what I did, right? Because I truly believe in practicing what you preach. And actually, if I'm going to sell something, I better be in the process as well, right? As soon as I could afford to buy a home, I bought my first house, right? After I filed, 2 years of self-employment taxes, I showed enough income. I purchased in June of 2024. Plus, I needed a third bedroom. I was having a kid, get married. It was time. It was time for me to get out of my condo and, buy a home. Well, I bought at the tippity-toppity side of the rates. Like, I don't think many people have a higher interest rate than I do. I'm a 7.625. Does it hurt? Yes, it hurts. It hurts.
It hurts
But,
in your pocketbook.
I mean, that house now from when I bought in mid-2022, and, we really haven't changed prices a ton since mid-2022, right? That was kind of the...
It's worth a lot more.
Yeah, but because I forced appreciation, I did a lot of remodeling. But
and
realistically...
you robbed your seller of his equity.
I didn't rob my seller. I got it at appraised value, sir.
Yeah, you showed up to the house and met the appraiser and told him to appraise it lower.
You're telling me I did something illegal out here?
Yes.
No,
and
I
I
did
was
not.
the seller.
I didn't do anything illegal.
You
I
just
went-
screwed me out of like 40
I just
grand.
went and talked to the appraiser.
And said, hey,
I
I just
didn't
want
talk
you to know that
prices.
if you don't hit the value that we agreed on, don't worry about it.
No, I
'cause
brought
it's my dad.
comps to justify why it's not worth what you threw it on the market at. Whatever you did, $450 or whatever it was.
Dude,
You
that's
just put a number on it. that
that's
you
just
felt
wrong.
like.
That's just wrong.
No,
right?
it's not wrong. That was the truth. That was the fair thing to do. We agreed praised value, and I
kinda-
just showed comps to
I
justify
did kind of liked it, though.
better
That was pretty good.
better value. It was a more fair value. Right now, after my forced appreciation, it's probably worth $475. Right? I mean, I put $50,000 into the home after it's all said and done between my
Yeah, you got
initial
your
remodel
bathroom
and then my
done,
bathroom
everything. So
remodel.
I think it's worth $5.
I looked. Unfortunately, it's not. If it was, I'd refi right now. Oh, I wouldn't refi right now, but I'd get out of PMI.
$475.
Yeah, it's like $475. I'll take your opinion on it because you tell me if it's worth making the call to get it out of the PMI.
I'll have to look.
Because I pay $491 a month in mortgage insurance.
Yeah, we need to drop that.
Yeah, I need to get rid of that crap.
Listen
That's
to this.
disgusting.
Do interest rates really matter? Yes.
Yes,
but
they
your
do.
situation matters more. Don't shop fear, shop facts. Right?
Right.
It makes sense to buy a home.
Basically, you need to know what you can afford a month, and if you can afford X amount of dollars a month, and there's a house that meets your criteria in that payment range, you should buy. Now, I will say there are cases where I don't recommend it necessarily, right? I'm not going to just be your salesman here that says you should buy 100% of the time. If you need to move out of the city or the state within a year or 2 or 3 years, trying to recoup those funds might be a little tough. Might be a little tough with selling costs, right?
Yeah.
You need to give it some time. Like, for example, sometimes, you have someone coming on a temporary job for a year, 2 years, and you're like, maybe it's not worth buying then, right? Because if you have to sell when you leave to buy somewhere else, I don't know if you're going to recoup those funds, honestly, in a year or 2.
Right.
Right? It's going to be tough, right, at the end of the day. But, I mean, if your plan is to be in a home for more than 3 years, 5 years, really, you should be buying 100% of the time, without a doubt. It's number one generational wealth creator in America.
702-310-6683. Call the real estate guys. Selling your house, buying a house, commercial, land, property management. Call the real estate guys. I'm going to leave you with this. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some stats, show you where all the numbers fall. But let me ask you a question.
Ask.
Zillow, people go to Zillow a lot. Realtor.com and Trulia,
They
right?
do.
To see what their home is worth. The problem is that Zillow or Trulia never stepped inside their house to take a look at it.
Right. Well, we're gonna talk. Let's take the break real quick because I got a little analogy on that one to kind of explain that.
All right. 702-310-6683. We'll be back in a minute.
No, really though. I actually do want you to run comps on my home, and you tell me what you think.
Okay.
Not right now. I mean, you can try right now, but I don't think you'll be able to. But
I really need Sue. Please run comps on Chrissy's house where I'm going next. I gotta have a number in my head, please. I didn't do it, and I'll call you in 10 minutes. Shit. Can't believe I'm gonna go list the house.
What happened with my mom?
I talked with her. She is in a situation. I don't know if I can help her, actually. I think I'll give her a call. I don't know if I should tell you all her personal information or not, but you probably know, right?
The lien that's not, or I don't know if it's a lien or like if
Well, she has to pay it back. They forgave her of her not making her payments for like a year, let's say, whatever that time was, during COVID. Well, if she waits 2 more years, she doesn't have to pay it back. But if she sells the house now, it's like 90-something thousand. Well, she wants to sell her house to somebody, and then in 2 years recoup that 94,000. Like, she doesn't necessarily want to close escrow.
How is that even?
It's not possible. So I can't forget where I left off with her. Oh, I was running a prelim on the house. That's right.
Because she was telling me she might have to just keep it. We didn't have enough time to talk about it.
Well, she should. She should just keep it for 2 more years.
Yeah.
Because it's not worth nothing what she wants either. She was trying to sell it for $550 or $560. It's worth $5. Then she's going to pay the $94,000.
Which is still good. I think they got it for like 3.
Well, it is, but every seller wants more. Every seller thinks it's worth more. Oh, Zillow says it's worth $550. It's worth $550. No, it's not. Everybody wants more.
Well, I'm going to tell you why Zillow's wrong.
What? And I'll give you an example.
Most of the time.
Okay.
How many times did your mom try to sell her house?
I think like 3.
3 times. Why did you think it sold?
Too high.
She thinks it's worth more than it is.
Yeah. And also it was probably really hard with all of us in the house and nobody keeping it clean.
Well, then you lower the price. You have to sell it for what the market will bear and the condition that it's in.
Yeah.
Right? If you got everybody in the house and it's always messy, well, you got to drop the price. You know what I mean? So if a seller wants to sell a house, every house is sellable at the price that it's supposed to be at. So I think I ran a prelim on it to see if that liens on there, what it meant. I'm going to set myself a reminder. That was a good commercial. Check Talmadge's house with Fidelity Title and see if the prelim came in.
Alrighty, we're back, and you got 10 more minutes here, so I'm gonna jump right into it because we got a lot of stuff to go before the show ends today.
I like that voice.
All right, we got.
Is that your deep manly voice?
Sure, why not? Anyway, Zillow. Why Zillow is wrong? Why Zillow is wrong?
Well, they're not always wrong.
Okay, but here's gonna be my prime example.
But it's
you
just
have
an
a house.
opinion.
You have a house built in 1979. All right, let's go 1 year after lead-based paint.
Okay.
Why not? You have a house built in 1979. I'm going to meet the seller next week. And they see their price on Zillow. But all of the last 10 sales in the area are flips.
Yeah.
They've been remodeled. They're completely modern.
$100,000 difference.
Even if they're minimally remodeled compared to the seller I'm going to see, and his home is original. And he sees a number on Zillow for $500,000. But he hasn't done anything to his home since 1979. He might have a newer AC or a newer water heater, but the floors original. The paint, maybe it's been touched up here and there, and he thinks, I think my home's worth around $5. Well, what does Zillow and all of these secondary marketplaces do to give you an estimate of value?
They haven't walked through the house.
They compile data. That's what they do. They just compile data, and when the data that's most recent is skewed because of a remodel or modernization at whatever plethora of reason, variables, right? It's going to be a little higher than what it actually is, right? Just because everybody else is selling higher doesn't necessarily mean that's where yours is going to sell at the end of the day. And I know a lot of sellers don't like to hear that, but I mean that's why you call a realtor. If you knew exactly what your home was worth and knew exactly how to do the process, you wouldn't call us. You do it yourself, right?
Yep.
So there's a reason why you should be listening to the realtor you hire, right? And I tell that to people all the time.
Well, you should be listening to the real estate guy.
Yes, the real estate guy. But then, we get the calls like, well, my house isn't selling, my house isn't this. I'm like, well, where's your house listed? Here. Well, what did your realtor say? Well, we should list it here. Well, then why are you listing it where you want? Why don't you do it yourself then? Why are you calling me now to tell you that?
Well, Jacob, here's the thing. It goes back to where we're at right now. The biggest mistake is that agents they listen to their seller.
Right.
And they take the job.
Right.
And it's not a very good job to have.
No.
Right? You're going to go on a lot of job interviews. You should take the jobs that you want to take. Once you get to that point in your career, I think you have accomplished something. You can't just take any job.
Right.
Because then that person, like there's one right now, I'm telling you right now, I'm about this close to telling her I don't want the job. I talk to her every single day, and she has it listed with another agent. Now, I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I don't want to say it on air, but I had the other agent had her on a 3-way call recently, and I talked to him. And, he respects me. He knows me. I told him I was going to pay him a referral fee, but now I'm thinking, I don't even know if I want it.
Right.
Bro, it's like 5 times a day.
Right.
Just telling me stuff that doesn't matter.
Right. Irrelevant.
It's irrelevant.
Unfortunate. Man, that's when, like you said, you're in the position in your career now to where you would deny jobs, right? Like if someone wants to list it 100,000 over and they won't list with you unless you list it there, you just walk away.
We just walk
because
away.
we have to, right? It's not good for the business. It's not good for our name.
It's not even a job.
Right.
It's just you doing work and
For
wasting
no pay.
your time.
Right. That's what everyone takes for granted too. I mean, we're not going to get paid unless the deal closes. So why would I take the job way overpriced?
Right.
I'm not going to get paid.
Oh, well, let's just throw it out there and
I'm
see
gonna
what
work
happens.
for you for free for 6 months.
We're going to throw it out there, and I know exactly what's going to happen. Gravity is going to take its place, and it's going to throw it out there. It's going to drop right to the ground. It's not falling up.
Yeah.
So no. So talk to me about our median sales price that we always monitor. Kind of dictates where our values are going. You told me something today that happened.
It was
May.
a shock to even myself.
It was a shock.
So our median price in March, highest it ever was, right? $485. Whoa, highest we've ever seen
Beat
in Las
482
Vegas.
from COVID.
We've never seen it like that before.
Wow.
In April, what happened? We dropped from 485 to 480. And why was that? Well, we saw more listings starting to hit the market. Month supply started to increase.
Tariffs.
Listings starting to increase.
All kinds of stuff. A lot of factors.
Live started to increase, right?
Interest
Yeah,
rates.
a ton of stuff, right? Interest rates weren't getting any slack. If anything, they got a little higher from February when, there was a little bit of a spur in February and March, and then the rates came back or went back up, and listings started going up, and sales started going down, right?
Right.
Typically, May is the best month of the year for appreciation. So we usually see the top of the market in the year is in May, and then from there it kind of sizzle out a little bit the rest of the year. But this year's May wasn't like that. In fact, we suspected the median price might go down.
Right.
What did it do, though?
It went up.
No, it stayed the same.
Oh, it stayed the same.
480 in April, 480 in May. It didn't go down. We really thought we were going to see
I thought we were
475.
too. Yeah, it did it.
I thought we were going to see 475.
So here's the thing, too, when people tell you, is it a right time to sell my house? It's the highest market we've ever had. Why wouldn't it be?
Technically is.
What are you waiting for?
They were $5K off the highest median price we ever had.
Are you waiting to be 440?
Right.
Are you going to wait till it's 550? I mean, it's the highest we've ever had. Should I wait to sell my house? No. I mean, it depends on where you want to go, right?
Wait? Are you going to wait 3 more years or 2 more years?
I mean, what are you waiting
5 more
for?
years?
You want to move? Go buy another house. Sell your house. Take your equity. Go buy another one. So your interest rate's higher. Refinance it when it drops.
Right.
If you're leaving out of town, you have to sell your house. It's not a bad time, right? You need to upsize, sell it. If you need it's not a bad time.
No, I mean, there's more inventory. You just have to be more realistic. You can't throw your house $20,000 above appraised value right now or above market value and hope it sells.
No.
It's not going to happen.
And
it's going to hurt you in the long run.
And the good communities hold their value.
Right. Well, there's still multiple. There are still multiple communities and areas in town appreciating. Right. We're still seeing appreciation in some areas. It's starting to just be certain communities and certain areas that are the inventory is getting
How
a little
much we
higher.
have inventory, by the way, because we're going to run out of time.
10,100 homes on the market right
That's
now.
condos, townhomes, everything, right?
Everything,
So we did hit
yeah.
the 10,000 mark.
Yep. Little over
And our
7,100
sales
single family
In
homes.
May versus April, you said we were even?
So in May, we had 2,087 single family sales, and we had about 2,150 in April. So
So we were up a tad.
we're down a little bit.
Oh, we're down.
Down about 75 sales. Yeah.
Okay,
A
and then
month.
versus last year, how were we?
I didn't have the exact number. We were from last year. We were down. We had 13 or down 13% of sales from year to year. Last year in May, we had 13% more sales. So whatever 13% of 2,000 is, you're looking at what 260.
260, yeah.
So we had about 2,350 sales last year.
So we're down a little bit in sales because the rates are even higher than they were last year.
Right.
By at least a point, probably.
About a half point. Yeah.
Okay. But I tell you, I see always optimistic in every market, and it screams opportunity for buyers. If you're a buyer,
Right.
and you want someone that knows how to
negotiate.
negotiate and hit somebody hard, call us.
Right.
702-310-6683. If you're a seller, we're the highest we've ever been. Even though the market's a little soft, we're the highest it's ever been. You know, we're going to do some things to your house to get you the top dollar.
Right.
Agents don't do that. Agents don't fix your house up for you if you need to. Agents don't give you cash advances. Agents don't do what we do. And the people that are coming around the corner and say that they do this and do that, check their reviews, please. Go to their website. See what people are saying about them. See how many homes they sold. That's so important.
Right.
It just is.
Volume is important in this
And I'm
market.
not saying there's good agents that haven't sold very many houses. Sure there is.
Right.
I'm not saying there's not good agents that don't have reviews, but I feel pretty damn comfortable using somebody that has great reviews, that's been around a long time, that sells a lot of houses. When I buy a house in a different city, that's what I look for.
Right.
I don't look for the one that doesn't. I don't go to the one that on Google that has no reviews. I don't go to the one that has bad reviews. I try to find someone like the real estate guy.
Real estate guy.
Anyway, 702-310-6683. Call the real estate guys. This was a great show today,
It
Jacob.
was a good one.
Had a good time. Keone, you were amazing.
Thanks, Keone.
I mean, you really outdid yourself today. Gave us some different camera angles, like boom, right? It's all about making us look better because on the TikToks and the other ones, I haven't looked very good. Jacob looks good. I have not looked very good.
Anyways, folks, thanks for joining us. As always, we appreciate you listening in. If you need anything at all, give us a call. 702-310-MOVE.
Later.
702-310-6683. Have a great weekend.